Hi! Today I'm doing a video for OtherkinRaz, who asked me to talk a little bit about paganism. I think this is going to have to be at least a two-parter because it's a big subject. I also want to say that I am in no way an expert, so please take whatever I say with a grain of salt and do some research on it yourself, because I can only speak from my experience and my opinions, and there are a lot of opinions on this subject. So let me start by saying that paganism is an umbrella term. It is a way to describe several different kinds of religions. It's about like with the Abrahamic religions, as in Christianity, Judaism and Islam, or monotheistic religions, which is basically any religion that has only one god. So yes, paganism has it's the same concept. Paganism isn't a religion in itself. It's a catch-all phrase. Now, originally, what pagan means is country dweller. Now, why this was then associated with religion is because as Christianity became more popular in a region, usually it was in the cities that Christianity took hold first. It was in the cities they could build big churches. It was in the cities where Christianity had the most influence, while in the countryside people were more bound to the land, so to speak, so that the old ways of doing things were more difficult for Christianity to get rid of there. Therefore, the word for country dweller got to mean the same as practitioner of the older religions. Now, you can look at paganism in a way two different ways. You have the old paganism, which is basically what we historically say when we talk about the religions like those practiced in ancient Rome, ancient Greece, the old Norse religions, and so on. We call these pagan religions. And then we have neo-paganism, which is what is practiced by a lot of people today. Now, neo-paganism is not these old religions. Some of them, like OtherkinRaz, has tried to create a rebirth for the old religion. However, usually we don't have all the information, and even so, a lot has changed because society has changed. So, like a practitioner of OtherkinRaz today is not practicing the same as was practiced by the Vikings 800 and 1000 years ago. Now, what exactly sort of religions that fit into the box of paganism, that varies a bit by who you ask. Like, some would say that shamanism is definitely paganism, but a lot of shamans would be very offended by that and saying that we in no way are pagan. And some would say that, for example, because of the way it's practiced and that it has multiple gods, both Hinduism and Shintoism would fit neatly into paganism, but I know very few that would fit those two religions into that box. So, what religions go into paganism is a bit of a touch and feel subject. Now, I'm going to focus mostly on neo-paganism here, because I have a feeling that is what you meant to ask me about. Now, neo-paganism is nature-based religions. Like I said, it is a catch-all phrase, so it's not just one religion, but it includes religions like Wicca, Åsatru, and many other different kinds of witchcraft religions. And what I have in common is a deep respect of nature, and a belief that nature is very spiritual, and that nature is created by the gods as their temple. Now, there's a lot of difference between these various pagan religions, and also within the practitioners within these religions, as a lot of the pagan religions doesn't have a leader figure. Most of them aren't based around a hierarchy in the same way that, for example, Christianity is. So, and a lot of them is also floating a bit into one another. So, for example, I consider myself to be Wiccanish. I won't say that I am Wiccan because there's a lot of things in the Wiccan religion and in the dogma of that religion that I don't agree with. I'm also very eclectic, which is sort of necessary since I am a chaot. But I still follow a lot of Wiccan principles and a lot of Wiccan religion, so I consider myself to be Wiccanish. So usually I say that religiously I'm pagan. This is because there's a lot of people that feel that they are sort of in between a religion, or they are sort of similar to one religion, but it flows a bit into one another. So they consider themselves to be pagan, but not of a particular path. Now, this would be about the same as if you have someone that says that, yeah, I believe there's a god, or a single god, but I think that Christianity has some good points, and Judaism has some good points, and Islam has some good points. So I consider myself to be Abrahamic, being of the book, but I'm not a distinct follower of only one of these religions. That's the same as saying that you're pagan, without belonging to one particular group. Now, something that often comes up is the question, is every pagan a witch? No. Even within distinct pagan religions such as Wicca, not every practitioner are in fact witches. Some religions, like the witchcraft religions, have a bigger percentage of people practicing magic, while some, like Åsatru, you often have some groups within that religion that practice magic, but not all. And but most pagan religions are very accepting of magic. And in a way you could say that magic is very common because of a pagan's bond with nature, so that we might ask nature to help us, and in a way this is magic, even if it might not be the typical casting a circle, doing a ritual kind of magic, because we sort of feel that bond with nature, and nature becomes like a sibling or a part of us, and through that bond it is possible to do things that are greater than what we could do just on our own. Another question is, does that often come up is, do pagans worship trees? Pagans worship nature? I'm sure there are some pagans that do, but the major pagan religions doesn't. Like, for example, in Wicca, you do not worship the trees, but you worship the energies behind it. And you see trees and nature and animals, everything in nature really, as sacred to the god and the goddess, because nature is their children, just like we humans are. So it's more accurate to say that for most pagans, nature is our church. It is sacred, it is something that we respect and that we enjoy a good relationship with, but we don't worship that church in its own right. Now, you might also ask, is paganism evil? No, it isn't evil. Paganism isn't Satanism, doesn't have anything to do with Satanism. Most pagans doesn't believe in Satan. Most pagans actually don't believe in an ultimate good and an ultimate evil. We believe in balance, in being accountable for our actions, but we don't think there is some god that sits saying, you've been naughty, you are going to hell. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with the Christian idea of this, but I'm saying that most pagans doesn't believe in an ultimate good and an ultimate evil, because something that's good in one set of circumstances could be evil in another. Like, for example, a doctor that has to choose, is he gonna save that patient or that patient? Is he evil for choosing to actually save one patient and letting another patient die? No. While in another situation, choosing to let someone die is definitely bad. So, no, pagans from a practical perspective isn't evil. We don't go around and harming anyone. But also from a metaphysical perspective, from our point of view, there are no such thing as evil. And I see that I've gotten to the point where I should end this video and get back to it next time, because my camera have a tendency to stop recording if it goes over a certain length. So I'm sorry that this video have been a bit back and forth, because I'm really trying to collect my thoughts about what to say about this topic. So I hope the next video will be better, and I hope you got at least some information out of this. Have a great day, and blessed be.